Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Sasquatch Speaks. This is Sasquatch, otherwise known as Gavisas, welcoming you all once again to, well, this, which is apparently what will be on my channel for quite some time, at least until I can get a better computer, which, as I said on the Thursday video from last week, I can't believe it, but there's still going to be a description in the link down below, just so that everyone knows, like, what's going on. I'll probably do that through the end of this week, so that people who just like come in or drop out, they'll have at least a basic understanding of where my channel is headed at the moment. That being said, first of all, I want to throw a big thank you to Mama Sass or Mother Sass or however we want to put that, because we're not actually going to drop a name here, for helping me get some videos out over the weekend. I was out of town and not able to push the publish button myself, and so she helped me out, and through some rather interesting phone conversations of trying to explain just what a publish button is, she was able to help me publish my Saturday video, actually on Saturday, which keeps my streak alive. I should actually go back and see just how long it's been since I didn't have a fresh video out every single day. But I'm quite sure at this point it's getting close to 3 months. So, yeah, yay for me. Maybe less of a yay from you if you don't particularly like my content. If you don't, why are you still watching this video? Get out of here! Anyway, hit the dislike button on the way out, and, life goes on. For me, not for you. No. Anyway, I've been exchanging a lot of messages and comments and things like that with a bunch of you who were so kind as to comment on that video and the other videos since, to give me some ideas for what to do with my channel, or not what to do with my channel, but just like things you want to hear about, until I'm able to get gameplay back up and running. You've also given me some very helpful ideas. Thank you, Lieke, for that, for those ideas. Probably going to be following a lot of those when I get things up and back in order, as they should be, or as they should have been from the start, but we're not. However you want to do that, it's okay with me. Anyway, I'm going to be starting on some of those topics next week, because, well, I'm actually going to be running the first idea, actually all week long. After doing a little bit of thinking about it and mulling it over and planning it out, I can get at least a full week out of one of those ideas. So I am very excited to start doing that. But for this week, we have other topics which need to be covered. Well, not need to be covered, but which will be covered because I want to. Ha! To wit. Again, I love that phrase. To wit. On the Triple Guard podcast a while back, I think it was maybe about a month. I think it was in July or something. We had Mike, Twitchy Poo, Lieke, however you want to pronounce his name or say his name. He has multiple different Siva Manhan, however you want to address him or qualify him as a human being with a name. That guy, he asked the question on the Triple Guard podcast, what is your worst birthday memory? And in the Triple Guard podcast, I related a story from my 7th birthday, about when, at the time, I was 7 years old. Obviously, it was my 7th birthday. Ha! And during on that 7th birthday, at the time, my parents were allowing me to keep a more than average number of toys out of, being put away, because I was playing with them every single day, and they were Legos. And Legos, if you are, really into it, can get really involved. And I was really into it, and I was really involved. I had this 3-foot tall structure that I built with Legos, and a bunch of adjoining structures and come together, and the base platforms of those, the big flat pieces with you can just use as a mount to start your building, so to speak. And I had a fairly good sized city going. And it was just kind of out there. They didn't make me put it away or hide it or anything else like that, because I was playing with it every day. And it came around to turned 7th birthday, and my cousin was in town. and we'll call him cousin Andy Sass. How's that? And Andy Sass came, and by the way, I'm just going to make this a thing from now on. Whenever I refer to some part of my family, it's going to be something or other Sass, so just get used to that. It's going to be the thing that happens. So Andy Sass came, and he's playing with me, and he's about the same age I am. He's maybe like 2 or 3 months older. And we're playing around, whatever, and he got bored of everything going on outside, and so he walked in the house, and he saw my creation, my miniature city, so to speak. Like I said, 3 or 4 feet tall. I put a lot of time, a lot of effort into building it. It's basically as tall as I was, just very well, at least I thought it was very well architected, like adjoining towers and bridges connecting everything. It was really cool. And while we were all outside, he decided to play with my Legos. And by play with my Legos, I mean he decided to deconstruct my city. My beautifully orchestrated and architected and planned out and created and built up city that I'd spent days and weeks and months putting together and like scavenging blocks from everywhere else that I could possibly find them. And this is a fairly large structure. Well, not fairly large, it was an incredibly large structure. And little did we know that this was going on inside. And when we came in after multiple hours, I came in to find my creation not just segmented, not just, like, oh, he pushed it over and it broke over into like 3 or 4 big pieces that you can kind of put together. No. He took the time and the dedication to piece by piece, brick by brick, break down my entire 4-foot tall structure with all of its adjoining buildings and the bridges and everything else like that. And to my 7-year-old mind, that was about the most devastating thing that could have possibly happened on my birthday of all days. And I'm like, this is the worst thing ever! Get him out of here! Die! Sort of thing. And so it was very traumatic to me as my young self. And I was quite happy with the turn of events that I had not seen him at all pretty much since then. I think I saw him for like 2 minutes at my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary, and I made sure to stay as far away from him as I possibly could, and just out of here. No, bad, evil, ixnay on the you say, and just get out of here. Bad, evil, don't want anything to do with you. Get out. Scram, shoo, ha! Anyway, but as it turned out, this weekend, as I was up visiting my grandmother, and my uncle, his father, has moved into that area now, and he owns a farm. And it's become a thing now since he's started his farm, which was like 4 years ago, whatever like that. Whenever we go up to visit my grandmother, we go over and we look at the farm and we see what sort of progress has been made. He's growing hops for anyone who wants to know. And, yeah, it's neither here nor there. But he's growing hops, and he's just got his harvester in, and he's putting everything together. It's a really cool thing. And I'm there, and I show up there, and I'm going, oh, this is so cool, and what's this? And I look over, and I see this fairly large guy, about my size. I'm like, there's a familial resemblance here. And I remember, I have not seen this guy in like 15 years. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there ain't no way. But sure enough, yes, there is a way, and there was a way, and there stands my cousin Andy Sass. And I'm like, oh, crap. I thought you were in Italy, like really far away from me. And there was no chance of us coming together. And I'm like, oh, man. Just stewing a little bit. I mean, it's his father. It was a inevitability that eventually he was going to end up at that place. I just didn't assume that he was going to end up at that place at the same time that I was. I'm like, okay, well, it was 17 years ago, something like that. I'll be the bigger person, and I won't say anything. And I'll just be like, okay, just gonna go here, help him pick some vegetables and stuff, and get out of here without talking to my cousin at all. But it turns out that I was wrong. I mean, yeah, I made this big deal. I mean, to my 7-year-old self, it's like, okay, well, you're a kid. It's a toy. You just deal with it. But it was one of those things. It's like, okay, well, it's something that I was holding on to. That I had ownership of this, and it gave me license to not like certain parts of my family. And it was like, no, I want to be angry about this thing that happened, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, right? Well, no, there's not. There's nothing they can do to stop me. But having grown up a little bit, it was like I was prepared. I was ready to be just like lay into him or be angry or just ignore him and just be afraid. But it turns out I not only grew up 17 years, but so did he. And as it turns out, we grew up a lot the same. Both built about the same. We have a lot of the same interests. It's like, and the entire time I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I hated this guy, and now he's like pretty cool. How did this happen? And I probably should have put more thought into this before I just like launched into recording. But it's interesting how that could happen. I'm reminded right now of like Home Alone, the first one, where there's the old man and he's just like estranged from his son. They said, "I don't care to see you anymore," and I said the same to him, and just haven't seen each other in 20 years. Yada yada blah blah blah. It's like, okay, but that doesn't make you not family, and that doesn't mean you don't still on some level or another care for each other. And it's like it's a weird sort of feeling to suddenly be like, I want to be angry at you because of this thing that happened all this time ago. But the more I try and be angry at you for it, the more I realize I'm stupid for trying to do that. I'm the one at fault here. Sure, yeah, something messed up before, something came up in the past that was, to my mind, tragic, or to you, or to whatever. It's just like, this is the terrible thing, this is the worst thing ever. Blah, 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 blah. But now, doesn't matter. We're past that. I don't even play with Legos anymore. I'm trying to play with Minecraft, but can't have the computer to do it, so it's difficult. But be about as close to Legos as I get right now. But it's just like the things that we try to hold on to, the things that we try and be like, I am right. I am in the right here. He wronged me. Yeah, he did. But wasn't that bad? I mean, I understand there are things where it's like, okay, that's unforgivable. You can't, it's just like, murder. Yeah, not just me should be mad at you, but everyone else should too, because you shouldn't kill people. But knocking over some Legos? Or calling each other a bad name? There's nothing big. I mean, I do that to people I like on a regular basis, and they still kind of like me most of the time. I think. They could be lying to me, but I mean, the way they act around me, it's like, hey, he's still a pretty okay guy. And they call me bad names, and like, I don't care. Because that's kind of the thing that we do here. But why is it that some of those little things that come up in our past, just little things that we just decide that for whatever reason, that is unforgivable. We just decide it. And then it comes back to us a couple years later, and it's like, ooh. No, I was wronged, yeah. But it's not right for me to still be angry about that. I'm gonna say it. I made pretty good friends with my cousin. New cousin, just older than me. My cousin Andy Sass, and we're good friends again, and we're gonna see each other again, before another 17 years passes. It's gonna be good. And I apologize for the phone call that I just had to block, because I forgot to turn my phone on silent before I began to record this. So yes, I think that's the point where I have to end, because I need to actually call that person back. And yes, I will see you all later. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, like rating down below, would be very much appreciated. If not, a dislike rating and a nasty comment. But really, I just kind of throwing this out there. It just struck me so strongly because it just happened yesterday. And it's just one of those things like, oh man, I was angry and I was kind of right, but not really. I was really wrong for trying to hold on to it for so long and try and, like, lord it over this person who I hadn't even seen in 17 years. It's like, it's interesting how the human mind works. I go, well, I have rights to this, and we really don't. Anyway, hope you all have enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed getting a little bit of this off my chest. Be back tomorrow with more Sasquatch Speaks, and probably all the rest of this week and the next week, and who knows how long after that. Hopefully you all will be enjoying. Hopefully you all come back. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.